Chosen ones, listen with every fiber of your spirit. What is being released right now is not casual, not ordinary, and not meant for just anyone passing through. If this message has found you, hear this clearly. You were guided here on purpose. This moment was arranged. There are no accidents in this encounter. A divine alert is sounding in the unseen realm, and only the chosen can feel the weight, the pull, the urgency pressing in right now. What you are about to receive is not entertainment. It is a warning, a command, and a preparation for what is immediately ahead. God spoke and said, "It will be fog," not ordinary fog. This is a spiritual fog, a dense cloud of confusion, deception, and spiritual interference that is about to descend over the world. This fog will cloud judgment, distort truth, and choke anyone who is not spiritually covered. Many will walk straight into traps without realizing it. They will speak words that sabotage their own destiny, lose their direction, and spiral into confusion because they were not ready. But you, chosen one, are being alerted before it arrives. Heaven wants you awake, aware, and armored. That is why this instruction is being released now. You need a mask. Cover your mouth. This is not fear. This is strategy. In the days coming, you must guard your breath, your voice, your energy, and most of all, your words. The enemy will attempt to provoke you into speaking death, doubt, fear, and frustration into your own environment. You cannot afford that mistake. Covering your mouth is spiritual discipline. It is protection. It is obedience. What you speak while moving through this fog will decide whether you rise above it or disappear within it. Chosen one, stay locked in. This warning carries urgency. The atmosphere is shifting, and only those who are spiritually awake can sense the pressure, the tension, the heaviness settling in the air. Something is coming that will shake the unprepared. But for those who listen, it will lift you higher. If your spirit feels the pull, the gravity, the quiet pressure beneath these words, then you already know this is not something you stumbled upon. This is instruction released at the exact moment your soul could hear it. Before anything is revealed further, there is an inner movement required. Not tomorrow, not after reflection, now. Because alignment delayed becomes alignment denied. These steps are not external gestures, they are internal agreements, a conscious turning of the heart, a silent yes spoken in the depths where truth lives. This is how readiness is formed. This is how spiritual alignment locks into place. When the moment arrives, only those who have already agreed within themselves will recognize it. Understand this clearly. Not everyone will remain present here. Only those whose spirits are awake will feel the necessity to stay. Only those who are maturing will sense that something is unfolding in real time. The awakened recognize divine timing when it brushes past them. They know when a door is opening and when hesitation would mean missing it. If you are still here, your spirit already understands what your mind is only beginning to grasp. This message is not searching for you. It found you. Now steady yourself as we move deeper into what was revealed about the fog and the covering. A warning is echoing through the unseen realm. A fog, unlike anything before, is approaching, not visible in the sky, not carried by the wind, but settling quietly within thought patterns, emotions, and perception. This is a season of subtle deception, of emotional unrest that has no clear source, of distractions that feel harmless but slowly drain clarity. Those attuned to God's voice will sense that what is coming is not random circumstance. It is intentional, designed to press, to test, to reveal what has been fortified and what has been neglected within. The fog blurs truth without announcing itself. It bends perception just enough to confuse. It tempts even the grounded to second-guess what they once knew with certainty. This fog is not seen with natural eyes. It is felt in the spirit. It slips into conversations, magnifies small fears, and whispers doubts that feel like your own thoughts. Many will keep moving as if nothing has changed, unaware of the weight settling around them, distracted by the noise of ordinary life. But to the chosen, the message is unmistakable. Awareness now becomes protection later. Preparation is not passive waiting. It is an active inner posture. This warning is not meant to instill fear. It is a call to readiness, a summons to vigilance. Hearts anchored deeply, minds kept clear, spirits strengthened by truth rather than shaken by emotion. As this unfolds, denial will no longer be possible. The days ahead will ask for more than endurance. They will require mastery, emotional steadiness, sharp discernment. The fog is selective. It does not pursue the indifferent or the asleep. It presses against those who are awake, those who carry light, those who are actively walking forward. To the unprepared, everything will appear normal, but the chosen will feel the shift, and they will know a heaviness settling where peace once flowed, restlessness rising in others without a clear cause, tension filling rooms that used to feel safe. These are not random shifts. They are markers, signals placed along the path for those who are listening with more than their ears. Being chosen has never been about comfort or elevation. It is about responsibility. It carries the burden of awareness, the strain of discernment, and the resolve to remain steady when the world grows louder and more unstable. The fog will press patience, provoke quick reactions, and lure the mind toward distraction. But those who are awake will recognize the pattern beneath the pressure. This call cannot be ignored. The stirring in your soul is not anxiety, it is recognition. Guard what has been entrusted to you. You are being prepared to move through spiritual chaos with clarity and restraint. The chosen must learn to stand still inwardly while everything around them accelerates. In this season, restraint becomes strength, stillness becomes strategy, watching carefully becomes protection. Those who respond to this call will not merely survive what approaches, they will emerge refined, sharpened, more aligned with their true purpose than ever before. Awareness becomes both compass and shield, guiding you through storms that others cannot see and do not understand. This fog does not gather like a physical storm. You will not see it forming on the horizon or hear it announced by thunder. It moves quietly through conversations, through social pressure, through subtle shifts in tone and meaning. It challenges what you thought was settled. It dulls clarity. It unsettles even steady hearts with a sense of unrest that seems to come from nowhere. Its purpose is disorientation, to push the chosen into reaction instead of reflection. This storm carries layers that overlap and compound. Distorted information, fear-driven impulses, relational tension, internal questioning. What was once simple becomes tangled. Calm gives way to agitation. Bonds that felt secure begin to feel strained without explanation. Even your routines may feel interrupted. The rhythms that once grounded you begin to wobble. These are not coincidences, they are signals. The fog always begins subtly, almost unnoticed, then increases its pressure, testing endurance at every level. Preparation matters now, just as a sailor reads shifts in the wind, long before waves rise. The spiritually awake sense changes before chaos breaks open. Hearts must be fortified before visibility drops. The fog shows no mercy to the unprepared. It feeds on carelessness, scatters focus, and magnifies hidden insecurities. In this hour, awareness becomes survival, discipline becomes guidance, vigilance becomes light in the darkness. The mask spoken of is not material, it is spiritual armor. It is the practiced restraint to guard your words, your thoughts, and your inner world when everything around you tries to pull them apart. The fog looks for openings. It searches for careless words, unchecked thoughts, and moments when emotion overrides discernment. A masked heart does not rush to speak. It watches. It listens beneath the surface. It senses before it responds. Your mask is not silence born of fear. It is awareness forged into protection. Covering the mouth becomes a daily act of spiritual defense, a conscious refusal to give confusion a voice through you. Gossip, heated exchanges, impulsive reactions. These are not harmless habits, they are doorways. Each one gives the fog permission to enter and disturb your peace. When the chosen choose restraint over reaction and stillness over impulse, they preserve more than composure. They protect the light entrusted to them. The mask reminds you that words carry weight, and silence, when chosen wisely, carries authority. Guarding your peace means guarding your inner territory. Just as a fortress does not negotiate with invaders, your mind and spirit must not yield to the storm pressing at the gates. Breath becomes intentional, focus becomes steady, centeredness becomes resistance. When your inner world is ordered, the fog finds nothing to cling to. What God has placed within you cannot be claimed by chaos. The mask is both armor and training, a daily discipline that sharpens discernment. In a season where confusion seeks dominance, words carry heightened force. The fog provokes, it twists, it lures conversations into distortion. Without vigilance, even those walking upright can unknowingly spread unrest through a single careless sentence. This is why the instruction is clear. Cover your mouth. Speaking without discernment allows the fog to pass through you, seeping into thought, action, and spirit. One unmeasured word can ignite conflict, fracture trust, or multiply fear. In a world saturated with noise, the strength to remain measured is rare, and it marks the chosen. Speech is not merely expression, it is stewardship. Every syllable either reinforces light or feeds shadow. In this season, the impact of words is intensified. Covering the mouth is not avoidance, it is alignment. A deliberate practice of restraint, wisdom, and inner authority. It is the pause before reaction, the stillness before response, the quiet yielding that allows divine guidance to shape every interaction. The fog yields to those who speak with discernment. It loses ground around those who move quietly with purpose. In the days ahead, words can become weapons turned inward. The chosen know when not to speak, and in that restraint they remain untouchable. Before we go any further, pause for a moment. This is not a random moment. If this message feels urgent to you, it's because something is being revealed right now. So stop, take a quiet moment to become fully present. Before we continue, I'm asking you to do something that may seem simple, yet carries deep spiritual meaning, an act of agreement in your spirit. First, like this video. Let that click be more than a habit. Let it be a declaration. I agree with what God is speaking over my life. Second, subscribe and stay connected, not just to a channel as we're aiming for 5,000 subscribers, but to a flow of messages heaven is releasing to keep your spirit awake, aligned, and discerning, so you don't miss what is meant for you. Third, take a moment to write 999 or 777 in the comments and share your city and nation. Let this be a quiet but powerful sign between you and the Lord. I am ready. My heart is open. I receive the truth you are revealing. And to those who feel led to support this ministry through your prayers, your words, or through the Super Thanks feature, know this: you are not simply giving, you are standing with us as a collaborator, a partner in this sacred mission. Your support is not random, it is unity. It is your way of saying, Lord, I am ready to act when you speak. Amen. Casual words, unguarded opinions, reactions spoken too quickly. These become the hidden pathways through which confusion spreads. Every careless statement opens a door, and once the fog enters, restoring clarity and peace demands far more effort than preventing its arrival. The danger increases because this storm feeds on emotion. It grows stronger when responses are driven by impulse instead of awareness. When fear, anger, or frustration lead the voice, the fog gains ground. Even those who are deeply rooted can be caught off guard if they neglect discipline over their speech. The chosen must remember this. Restraint is not weakness. It is authority. It is mastery over the storm. It is the quiet declaration that chaos does not get to define your reality. In practice, this looks simple, yet it is powerful. Slow the conversation. Pause before answering. Speak only when words are necessary and aligned. Silence becomes more than a tactic. It becomes a stance, a visible boundary. A way of protecting the inner sanctuary where clarity lives. When the chosen honor the weight of words, they fortify themselves against the subtle but persistent pressure of the fog. The fog does not announce itself dramatically. There is no spectacle. Instead, you feel the shift. Conversations suddenly feel heavy. Rooms that once held ease carry an unspoken tension. Hearts that were calm experience agitation without a clear reason. Even simple interactions feel charged, as though the atmosphere itself is testing patience and discernment. These are the first whispers of the storm, a spiritual barometer alerting the chosen to rise in awareness. Daily rhythms may begin to feel disrupted. Tasks that once flowed require more effort. Focus slips. Waves of unexplained fatigue surface. The fog does not attack with force. It applies pressure slowly, wearing down resilience over time. It is here that wisdom responds, not with panic, but with adjustment. The subtle signs are an invitation to slow down, recalibrate and strengthen inner defenses before intensity increases. These moments are not inconveniences, they are indicators. Observing the tension without absorbing it, breathing through the restlessness without yielding to it, anchoring inwardly before the fog finds a place to settle. Early awareness changes everything. Those who recognize the signs in time move through the storm untouched. Clarity is preserved, peace remains intact, and while others struggle to understand what is happening, the chosen walk forward, steady, alert, and unshaken. As the fog thickens, confusion intensifies. Decisions that once felt settled begin to blur. Direction that used to feel close suddenly seems distant. Insight that once flowed with ease may feel muted. This storm does not attack loudly. It presses quietly, testing faith through uncertainty, nudging the unguarded toward doubt, irritation, and mental drift. Only those who have cultivated inner discipline will remain steady. This discipline is not harsh control or emotional suppression. It is alignment, a trained awareness that pauses before reacting, a heart that seeks divine wisdom before choosing a direction, a will that refuses to be led by fear-driven impulses when clarity feels delayed. The fog feeds on haste, reactivity, and carelessness. It cannot take root in a spirit that has learned patience, reflection, and stillness. This is a season that demands intention. The chosen will feel called to slow down while others rush, to listen while others argue, and to remain grounded while others panic. What looks like hesitation to the world is actually discernment forming in real time. Confusion may rise like waves, but those who have strengthened their inner life will stand as fixed points in the storm, steady, unmoved. Standing firm is not passive endurance, it is an active stance. A declaration that no storm, however subtle or persistent, can dislodge those anchored in true alignment. The fog multiplies through distraction, through volume, through the relentless pull of external noise. In a world saturated with opinions, arguments, and competing voices, noise becomes the battlefield itself. Every word, every emotional surge, every public disturbance is used to fracture focus and erode clarity. In this environment, silence shifts its meaning. It is no longer absence. It becomes power. Silence restores perspective. It creates space to hear what cannot be heard in chaos. It conserves strength for moments that truly require action. When the world demands reaction, the disciplined remain still, choosing awareness over impulse. This quiet is not withdrawal, it is positioning, a refusal to engage in battles that exist only to spread confusion. The pattern repeats everywhere, a heated exchange at work, a viral conflict pulling attention, a personal disagreement intensified by emotion and misunderstanding. The fog amplifies all of it, responding with restraint, choosing measured grace, declining to react impulsively. These choices preserve peace, protect relationships, and safeguard spiritual energy. In this season, silence is not emptiness. It is defense. It is clarity. It is the shield that keeps the chosen standing when the storm passes through. The fog always moves toward the light. That is why the chosen feel the pressure before the many. While the world continues under the illusion of normalcy, those who are spiritually awake begin to sense resistance, emotional fatigue without obvious cause, unexpected criticism, strain in relationships, an inner unrest that cannot be explained away. This early wait is not random. This is not punishment, it is preparation. Pressure arrives first to sharpen discernment, to deepen trust, and to strengthen endurance where it truly matters. Those who are attuned recognize this early resistance as a signal, a call to heighten vigilance, to guard the mind more carefully, to watch words more closely, to remain anchored in purpose when comfort begins to slip. The fog will probe every area of life: relationships, responsibilities, direction. Those who respond with haste or fear will find themselves pulled off balance. But the chosen understand what is happening beneath the surface. This pressure is a refining fire, shaping resilience and clarity where no one else can see it. This stage requires patience. It requires awareness. It requires the courage to stay steady while refinement is at work. Feeling the weight first is both a privilege and a warning. It creates space to fortify before the storm reaches the wider world. By choosing preparation over panic, reflection over reaction, and stillness over chaos, the chosen establish a standard of endurance. As the fog thickens and the outer world grows louder and more unstable, they emerge inwardly unshakable. Noise will increase, news cycles, opinions, rumors, emotional surges designed to provoke reaction and fracture focus. In these moments, the call is unmistakable. Turn inward. The louder the world becomes, the quieter the chosen must grow. Not because they are disengaged, but because wisdom lives in stillness. Discernment is born there. Protection is found there. Quiet is not abandonment of responsibility. It is strategy. It is the refusal to be pulled into every argument, the strength to let misunderstandings pass without defense, the discipline to choose alignment over agitation. What is guarded cannot be manipulated. And through stillness, the chosen reclaim authority over their inner world. History echoes this pattern. Those entrusted with vision were often shaped in silence before they were revealed. They did not respond to every disturbance. They observed, they waited, they moved when timing was right. In this season, quiet becomes power again. It sharpens clarity. It prevents exhaustion. It allows precise movement through uncertainty. Breath becomes intentional. Awareness deepens. And while the fog disorients many, the chosen navigate it with calm precision, guided not by noise, but by what rises clearly from within. Breath is more than air. It is rhythm. It is life moving in order. It is the quiet regulator of inner balance. The fog seeks to disrupt this rhythm first, accelerating anxiety, urgency, and emotional instability. To guard the breath is to guard peace itself. It is the deliberate refusal to let external chaos dictate your inner state. Slowing down becomes an act of resistance. Centering yourself becomes an act of authority. Protecting the breath is both practical and spiritual. Intentional pauses, moments of stillness, conscious slowing of thought. These create an inner sanctuary where clarity returns and calm settles. The chosen understand this instinctively. Hasty reactions invite confusion. Steady breathing restores strength. It anchors judgment. It stabilizes the heart when pressure rises. Life offers countless confirmations of this truth. In moments of tension, a single pause can prevent words that cannot be taken back. One deep breath can interrupt a spiral of fear. Stillness creates space for insight to surface. Guarding the breath is not occasional, it is daily discipline, a lifeline in a season where emotional storms attempt to scatter focus and steal peace. The fog cannot be navigated by chance. The days ahead require intention, preparation, focus that does not waver, wisdom that reaches beyond what is visible. Every distraction carries weight now. Every lapse in judgment is magnified. Preparation is not merely arranging circumstances, it is strengthening the inner world. It is fortifying heart, mind, and spirit. It is sharpening discernment so decisions are not driven by fear or pressure. Focus becomes the anchor that keeps you from drifting. The fog works to scatter attention, pulling toward trivial concerns, emotional reactions, and rushed choices. But the chosen learn to hold their gaze steady. They align actions with purpose. They refuse to let chaos set the pace. Wisdom rises quietly, guiding decisions when clarity feels scarce. It becomes an inner compass when external signals can no longer be trusted. Preparation also shows itself in the practical: discernment in relationships, restraint in speech, stability in emotion. These are not small matters, they are safeguards. Those who cultivate discipline now will recognize its reward later. When the storm fully surrounds others, they will walk through untouched, calm, clear, unmoved, prepared not by chance, but by choice. In this season, readiness becomes strength. Clarity becomes authority. Wisdom becomes the strongest armor you can carry. What once appeared symbolic now takes form as something real. The mask is no longer an idea. It is discipline made visible. It is restraint embodied. It is alignment lived out in real time. Each choice to remain silent when provoked strengthens this armor. Each moment you govern your thoughts instead of letting them run wild adds another layer of protection. Each emotional response brought under control reinforces the shield. The mask reminds the chosen of a deeper truth. Power is not found in reaction. It is found in mastery. In deciding what is allowed to pass through the lips, the mind, and the heart. Strength in this hour does not announce itself. It is quiet, subtle, often invisible to the world. It shows up in the withheld word, in calm where panic is expected, in peace chosen over chaos. The mask becomes a daily reminder that alignment is intentional. Nothing moves unchecked. Every thought is weighed, every response is filtered, every interaction passes through discernment before it is released. The mask also signals readiness. When the fog rises, the chosen are not merely surviving, they are equipped, able to move forward with clarity and purpose. Like armor on a warrior, the mask guards against distraction, preserves inner order, and declares that the light within cannot be diminished by turbulence outside. Every storm has an end. The fog, no matter how thick, does not remain forever, but it leaves evidence. It reveals, it separates. Those who prepared, who guarded their words, protected their peace, practiced discipline, and walked in quiet wisdom do not come out the same. They emerge stronger, clearer, more resilient than before. The fog serves two purposes. It tests and it refines. It separates the fleeting from the faithful, the reactive from the restrained. For those who ignored the warnings, it may leave behind confusion, regret, and exhaustion. But for the chosen, it becomes a passage of elevation. The silence held under pressure, the restraint practiced when chaos demanded reaction, the focus maintained when clarity was scarce. These become foundations that cannot be shaken. Every breath protected, every word measured, every thought disciplined, all of it compounds into a depth of mastery no storm can undo. The truth is unmistakable. Preparation, discipline, and alignment are not temporary tactics. They are lifelong anchors. As the fog lifts, the world may still feel unstable. Voices may grow louder, tension may sharpen, but the chosen stand different now, grounded, clear, steady. The storm does not define them, it refines them. And those who walked carefully, wearing the mask of discernment and moving with quiet authority, will shine brighter, walk steadier, and carry a strength only those who have passed through the fog can truly carry forward. What once sounded harmless now carries an edge. Conversations shift, words arrive layered with accusation, subtle pressure, emotional hooks meant to draw a reaction. The fog sharpens voices and turns them into instruments, aiming to stir anger, fear, and distraction in those who are awake. Every careless reply, every impulsive reaction fuels the storm, transforming ordinary exchanges into battlefields of the mind and heart. The chosen must remember this truth. Not every word deserves an answer. Voices shaped by fear and confusion can wound deeply if given access. This is the hour for restraint and intentional listening. Silence here is not retreat. It is strength in action. It is the deliberate decision to remain anchored while chaos searches for leverage. Now, more than ever, spiritual armor matters. The mask worn by the chosen shields against verbal assault, gossip, and manipulation. Each unguarded response becomes an opening. Each measured word closes a door. By disciplining speech and governing thought, the chosen deny the fog momentum and preserve clarity where it matters most. On this day, awareness becomes your weapon. Notice patterns forming in conversations. Sense the emotional undercurrent beneath words. Respond only when alignment calls for it. The fog feeds on noise and reaction. Those who master silence and discernment remain steady, protected, and unmoved. The fog strikes the mind before it ever touches circumstances. It plants doubt quietly. It stirs fear subtly. It distracts gently at first. Thoughts that once moved with ease become tangled. Decisions feel heavier than they should, as if an unseen weight has settled in. This is where the battle begins. The mind is the first and most critical front. When thought is compromised, action soon follows. That is why vigilance is essential. Every whisper of insecurity, every sudden surge of fear is a potential doorway. Awareness becomes protection. Centering in truth, returning focus, and anchoring inwardly fortify the mind against distortion. Guarding the inner world is not passive, it is active engagement. The fog rarely announces itself with chaos. More often, it enters quietly through imagination, misinterpretation, and the magnification of past failures. Recognizing these tactics early allows the chosen to intercept them before they take shape. This battle is also an invitation, an opportunity to build resilience. When thoughts are redirected toward peace, alignment, and inner clarity, weakness transforms into strength. The mind becomes a sanctuary, a place where the fog loses influence and wisdom remains intact. This is where stability is preserved. And this is where the chosen learn to stand firm long before the storm ever reaches the surface. The fog does not always arrive with force. More often, it drains quietly. Spiritual and emotional strength is siphoned little by little. Tasks that once felt light become exhausting. Focus slips. A weight settles on the inner life without explanation. This hidden approach is dangerous because it is easy to dismiss, easy to normalize until too much ground has been lost. The chosen must learn to see fatigue for what it is, a signal, not a coincidence. Rest becomes sacred again, conscious breathing, moments of stillness, stepping away from unnecessary tension. These are not escapes, they are restorations. Fatigue is one of the fog's most effective tools. It weakens discernment, lowers resistance, and pushes the soul toward reaction instead of wisdom. A small disagreement suddenly feels overwhelming. Ordinary responsibilities feel unbearably heavy. Emotions flare without warning. These moments are not failures, they are measurements. The fog is testing endurance, probing for cracks. Discipline is the response, not pushing harder, but guarding energy. Managing strength becomes a spiritual practice. By conserving emotional and mental resources, by focusing on what truly matters, and by protecting inner peace, the chosen remain resilient. Spiritual fatigue can be reversed when recognized early. Awareness restores balance. Discipline rebuilds strength. While the fog overwhelms the unprepared, the chosen remain anchored. And it is here, in quiet moments away from public eyes, that character is revealed and decisions are made. The most important words are often never spoken aloud. Reactions form internally. Choices are made in silence. These moments carry weight. In the unseen, discipline is measured. Alignment is tested. The fog applies pressure quietly, asking a single question. Will the inner life remain anchored, or will it drift toward chaos? In these private moments, the pull to react impulsively is strongest. Anger surfaces, frustration tightens, fear whispers, yet restraint becomes the true marker of maturity. What is chosen in secret shapes what unfolds in public. These unseen decisions shape not only the outcome of the fog, but the integrity of the soul itself. Silence creates space for reflection. Motivations surface. Intentions are revealed. Alignment is examined. It is here that insight grows, uncovering weaknesses that visibility often hides. Responding with patience and wisdom in solitude strengthens the foundation for what lies ahead. The fog tests inwardly before it ever tests outwardly. Those who remain steady in the unseen emerge prepared, clear, grounded, unshaken in purpose. Those who do not risk confusion and compromise. The fog always leaves signs before it fully arrives, and the chosen, trained in the quiet, are the first to recognize them. There are moments when the world itself seems to pause. Birds grow quiet without warning. The wind carries an unfamiliar weight. The air feels charged, as if something unseen is moving beneath the surface. These are not random shifts. Creation responds when the unseen realm is in motion. For those who are awake, nature becomes a mirror, reflecting what is approaching long before it arrives in full force. When the rhythm of the earth feels disrupted, it echoes what the fog seeks to do within the human spirit. Disorientation outside mirrors pressure within. Those who are chosen learn to read these signals, not with fear, but with awareness sharpened by discernment. A sudden change in weather, an animal's unexplained behavior, a tension in the atmosphere that cannot be named. These are not meaningless details. They are signals. The fog leaves fingerprints in the visible world. It bends the surface to reflect its deeper work. Awareness turns surprise into foresight. It allows preparation before confusion spreads. When you stay connected, attentive, grounded, what appears ordinary becomes instruction. What seems subtle becomes urgent. Spiritual readiness is reinforced through practical awareness. The earth itself participates in the warning. And hear this now, chosen one. Your pain was never proof of weakness. Your collapse was never failure. Your trials were not signs of abandonment. They were evidence that something powerful lives within you. Pressure only comes where strength already exists. The fog does not pursue the empty. It presses those who carry light. You are not being comforted. You are being activated. Every loss sharpened you. Every delay disciplined you. Every season of breaking marked you. You are being guided, even now, towards something larger than survival. You were set apart for movement, for impact, for authority, forged in silence and restraint. This is not the end of what you are sensing. It is the beginning of what is being revealed. The signs are aligning. The pressure is increasing. The fog is shifting. And the path ahead is opening just enough for those with eyes to see and courage to step forward as if something ancient has just stirred. God of light and truth, we stand at the edge of what is forming. We do not ask for comfort, we ask for clarity. We do not ask for ease, we ask for strength to carry what you have placed within us. Where pain once spoke louder than purpose, restore vision. Where collapse tried to name us, rewrite our identity. Seal our minds against confusion, our hearts against fear, and our words against reckless release. Teach us to move with restraint, to listen before we speak, and to stand firm when the fog presses close. We receive the discipline that sharpens us. We accept the fire that refines us. We embrace the calling that separates us. Let discernment rise where noise surrounds us. Let peace remain where pressure increases. Let our steps align with what you are unfolding, even when the path is not yet clear. We choose readiness over reaction. Alignment over impulse, purpose over distraction. And as the fog shifts and the unseen continues to move, we remain steady, aware and awake. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because every message released here carries a word designed to awaken, heal, and strengthen your soul. As we're moving toward 5,000 subscribers, your connection helps ensure these messages continue reaching the hearts God is preparing right now. Take a moment to go to the comments and write 999 or 777, and also share your city and where you're listening from. Let this be a quiet declaration of agreement and openness to what God is doing in this season. And to those who feel led to support this ministry through your prayers, your encouragement, or by using the Super Thanks feature, thank you. Your generosity truly matters, and it helps this word travel far beyond what any of us could do alone. Amen.